start to look at how do you want to express all of your negative emotions so that you can start to practice that in front of the mirror every day, so that when that shows up, instead of you straight jumping into, like, one of my tricks is to smile. The angrier I'm getting from inside, the more I will start to smile on my face, because I know my smile sends the contrary message to my brain. How to work on tonality. Fake it till you make it. Act as if. Start to become supremely awakened, aware towards your tonality, and consciously choose to practice it on a daily basis. So if you have to work on your tonality, practice 1,000 times. You know, if you join my enlightenment program, you'll see there is a whole week where my entire goddesses have to put honey on their tongue every morning, and the only tonality that needs to come out that whole week from their mouth is of sweet and sugar. And so even if they have to say bad things, like I will train them, even if they have to abuse with elegance and sweetness. So they have to say, "You're so silly, you know, I don't want to do this because of," but they have to speak in the sweetness of their voice. And can I tell you, when your tonality becomes something that you can control, you can literally control the world. That's the kind of power our tonality has. So for all of you here in this room, if you are listening and you're not working on your tonality, or you're saying, "But that's just how I talk," absolutely not acceptable. I want you to work rather, I always say this, the more chaotic the scenario, the more I depend on my practiced tonality to remain calm. You know, the words, the vocabulary I choose and the tonality I choose, I become very, like, let's say I'm supremely devastated and angry with one of my sons. I'm just taking an example. Instead of saying these words, I'll say, "I'm mildly disappointed." Guess what I have just trained my brain and done? When I am feeling, I don't know, like a volcanic eruption, I'm calling it mildly disappointed. Can you see what I am training my brain and by rephrasing what I'm doing to my emotion? Yes? So anytime I'm feeling extremely negative, I reduce it by addressing it as a simpler, I'm mildly disappointed. I am feeling slightly annoyed, mildly disappointed. Can you see how negative emotion can immediately be put on? Yeah, and that's one way. Another way is, of course, the tonality I use. I always say, instead of expressing your anger, learn to explain your anger. Instead of expressing your anger, learn to explain your anger. What does that mean? I would rather sit whoever it is I'm angry with down and say, "You know what, I'm feeling angry." They shouldn't be able to see it, they should be able to hear it. So seeing is, if I said, "I'm feeling angry," you know what I mean, when we get angry, how we speak, right? I don't want them to see it, I want them to hear it. I'm feeling angry. If this continues to be the way it is, I have a feeling I'm going to be reacting very differently than what I am right now. What would you want to happen for us to be in a cordial relationship? If you continue to behave like this, I'm sorry, I won't be able to continue to behave like this. So I'm explaining rather than expressing. Start to look at how do you want to express all of your negative emotions so that you can start to practice that in front of the mirror every day, so that when that shows up, instead of you straight jumping into, like, one of my tricks is to smile. The angrier I'm getting from inside, the more I will start to smile on my face, because I know my smile sends the contrary message to my brain, helping me relax. So let's say somebody's saying something that's making me really upset, and I'm smiling. Guess what? My brain is unable to get upset because I'm controlling it at the message level itself. And so what I can then do is I can convert that smile into, "Okay, Puja, you're not going to react to this situation, you're going to respond. What is a better way to respond? Right now I'm feeling emotionally very unstable. I'm going to remove myself from that place. I will go into the bathroom, I will go into my room. I will give myself 24 hours before I even open my mouth. In 24 hours, sometimes the thing doesn't remain big enough even to be addressing it, or at least what I'm not doing is what I used to do a lot is apologizing even though I'm right. Anybody ever experienced that? You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like so sad that Puneet is an extremely calm person and I can get super hyper. So a lot of times what used to happen is that because he used to remain calm, I would land up saying things that later on I would feel like, okay, I shouldn't have said this. I know I was right, but because I said all the wrong things, now I'm only going to have to apologize because I started right, but I landed up finishing more wrong than him. You know what I mean, right? You're able to understand, correct? So that's where you don't want to go. So today I feel like, you know what? If I'm right, I remain right. I'm not going to give in and just flow, you know. And even if I do land up flowing, very quickly I will apologize, because for me, how I behave is way more important than what the situation was. You know, even if I want to show my Kali, Roop Kali, I will do it consciously. I will choose to show my Kali, because if I feel like in this situation there is no other way to get out of it but to show that Roop, I will show it. But it's a conscious decision, not something that will happen to me, something that I will make happen for the situation to get corrected. The more you can get into that space, the better. It's all about practice. Do not try to do it in any shortcut. It is practicing, practicing, practicing. I remember back in 2010, 11, 12, I used to go into the room and go, Puja, well done today. You did not shout, you did not scream, you did not, whatever I was trying to control. And then over the years, of course, today I am able to control. But you know what? In the beginning, super duper hard.